On this episode, we share ways to be prepared for the inevitable rain that is coming to your Disney vacation. Today is March 17th, 2023. This is episode 548 of the Main Street Magic Podcast.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts. Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Main Street Magic. I am your host, Jeremy Stein, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife, Rhonda.
Hey, guys.
Make sure you check us out on the web at mainstmagic.com, as well as follow on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at mainstmagic. And then if you've not done so already, head out to Facebook and search for the Main Street Magic community and ask to join. Then if you hit that subscribe button, you get brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. Now we know how tough it can be to get those must-have dining reservations at 60 days out, but don't worry, Mouse Dining will remove the frustration of booking Disney dining reservations, alerting you when they spot availability for your desired restaurant, date, meal, and time, and this really does work. Visit msmfriends.com to use this free service.
So today we are talking about the rainy season of Florida.
Yeah, it's coming.
Here it comes.
I know.
Ready or not.
Yeah, April's fast approaching. And
which is crazy.
I know, it really, really is. Like, we're already a quarter of the way through this year. So we live in Florida.
Yes.
Disney World is in Florida. A lot of what we'll talk about as far as packing and preparing could also go for any of the theme parks in Central Florida.
Oh, absolutely.
But in general, Central Florida gets 52 inches of rain on average per year. The U.S. average is 38 inches of rain. So it gonna rain.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there's two types of rain you're going to get here in Florida. You have your afternoon thunderstorms,
Correct.
which tend to come more towards the summer, but can be year-round.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your sometimes all-day rain that does just set in. And we just had that the other day, actually. And I felt like we hadn't had rain in forever.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We got
I was
that
at work all
all-day
day
kind of rain. So there's two ways to kind of prepare for that we'll talk about. As always, same goes with the temperatures as far as heat. Check the forecast up until the day before you leave, honestly.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Because
Because
it could
changes.
change.
Yeah. I mean, take, for example, we're actually leaving in a little bit to head to Universal Studios with family and our extended family with Tina and Rob, it seems. And literally, Jeremy told me it was going to be 78. And I was like, yes. I mean, you're almost talking 80s in Florida with the sun. It's going to feel like that. Super excited. And then literally yesterday, he was like, oh, now the high is only 76. Now, still with the Florida sun, it's going to feel good. But that is still cooler. And to some people is outside, what I like to call outside air conditioned.
Yeah, I know. When you keep the house at like 75 or something. So, and it just shows how quickly that things can change. And the same can go for rain. Mm-hmm. You could have 100% on your forecast 2 days out, and then a day before it could drop to 50. Or you could have 50 and it could go to 100. So in reality, especially if you're taking an extended trip, you know, if you're going down for a week, 10 days, you may want to go ahead and just pack your rain gear if it can fit anyway, even if there's not much showing on the forecast, especially as you get into April through the summer months into kind of September. Those are the days you're probably going to get rain. You're going to have your afternoon, 3 p.m. thunderstorms, all that. So let's talk about packing, Rhonda, because you're the packing queen. What's the best part about packing all your rain gear?
Because it won't rain.
Yeah.
Usually. But sometimes it does.
Yeah.
And over the course of years going to Disney World, I invested in some actual UGG rain boots back in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And my foot's not changing anymore. So I've had these now for a while because I just hate wet shoes.
Yeah. Wet
shoes and socks. So I would wear these because not only could I walk in puddles and it didn't mind, but Disney tend to, even for the downpours, like Epcot floods.
Yeah, especially there in the United Kingdom area.
Yes.
Magic Kingdom is prone to flood in areas. We were there, I remember several years ago. It's probably been like 6 years with your parents. And Tomorrowland was, I mean, honestly, like 2 to 3 inches deep of water.
Yeah.
So the rain boots do a really good job. And certainly for, you know, you could get other brands of rain boots. I actually really like Crocs for the rain.
Yeah, and I was just going to go there.
And I'm pretty sure they make boots, and now they make those shoes.
Yeah, they make all kinds.
They make
of
all
things.
kinds of stuff.
But I think here more now in like summer, I might trade out my rain boots for Crocs, depending.
They get hot, right? Because you wear those big thick socks with them too.
Yes, because I have to.
Yeah.
And they tend to get warm, very warm.
Yeah.
Especially if it doesn't rain. Like literally, if I wear them, I want it to like.
You might as well rain. You might as well get used to them.
Yes.
I mean, that's the same thing with carrying any of this stuff. But I tend to like Crocs. Now, I wear socks with mine. I'm the dorky dad wearing Crocs with socks. I really don't care. It's about comfort and it's about what works. And if the rain starts to set in, honestly, I'll take my socks off and put them in my park bag. And then I'll just go, I'll just free ball my feet, I guess you could call it, and not wear any while it's raining.
Yeah.
And they're going to dry out because, as you said earlier, and here's the other thing. If you aren't going to wear boots or Crocs, we always say, of course, pack multiple pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
But I would also pack and pick up something. I know they have, I think they're little packets that you can put in your shoes that will not only keep them from getting really smelly if they're wet, but I think will actually help draw some of the humidity out of them. They have those, the little things you can get.
Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about like warming.
No, the little things, they'll suck humidity and stuff out of things that are damp like that because, you find yourself all of a sudden in your room that night with a hair dryer sticking it in your shoe. And honestly, your shoes are going to stink and they're going to smell. Yeah. So pick up some of those as well. What else are you packing for your trip and are you packing in your park bag if rain is in the forecast?
Well, I always now have my Disney poncho, rain jacket. I mean, not poncho, excuse me, rain jacket. I tend to take that because it's just simple and easy to carry. I actually can just drape it over my bag on my, like when it's on my shoulders underneath, like it just drapes really well and I don't have to worry about it. I can probably fold it up, but there's always so much stuff in my bag, unfortunately. I prefer that over a poncho. I'm going to say probably because I guess I wear short enough shorts that it does cover and it's just, if anything, my legs are wet.
Yeah.
I don't like the ponchos because like this rain jacket fits me a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
And the ponchos, I mean, are just big bags.
Yeah, that's one thing. You're not getting ponchos usually to size. I mean, you could buy a kid size or an adult size.
But still, they're kind of hot and they're harder to take off, where jacket's super simple.
I'm gonna debate you a little bit on this one.
That's fine, because I figured you would.
The rain jacket works the best. It is the best option. But I will say, for somebody who is traveling, they have to fly. They have maybe 100%. A larger family with minimum space.
100%.
Ponchos are key.
Yeah. And even the cheap ones from Amazon.
And that's what I was going to say is Disney makes ponchos. And trust me, as soon as that rain hits, they're going to be everywhere.
Yeah,
they're really good ponchos.
They are.
But they're expensive. They are a bit more bulky. They're super hard to dry out. So you're sticking wet ponchos in a park bag or something like that. You can go to your local Dollar General or order from Amazon. You can get ponchos for like $1 or $2. They're not going to be great for an all-day rain, but for those afternoon thunderstorms, they're perfect. And what's best is when you're done with it, you throw it in the garbage. And you don't have to worry about taking it with you or drying it out. Now, you actually, first, I'll give you a little behind the scenes real quick. So it's Thursday morning. It is 8:24. We are leaving for Universal at 9 a.m. We were originally going to leave at 8 a.m. We could not find time to record Friday's episode. So I was going to be slick. And I went and said, you know what? I'll take it's a good time to talk about the rainy season, right? I'll go ahead and take a previous episode and we'll be able to kind of recut it and just maybe add a little bit extra to it. We hadn't recorded one since 2018.
Wow.
And as I went back and listened to it, there was no way that's going to happen. So here we are. We're now recording this brand new one, so it is fully updated. But you had a really good thought back then, which was about going into the gift shops and asking for bags. The plastic bags that they give you when you buy merchandise, but just asking for some to stick ponchos in. Which was really smart if you are saving them. Because, again, if you do fold them up and put them in your bag, as soon as you get back to your room, hang them up. Or drape them over chairs or do something. I can tell you we have probably thrown away $100 or so worth of Disney ponchos because they ended up getting gross or moldy, or they'll stick together. And so I would recommend, if you're going to do that, go the Amazon route, but a raincoat really is the way to go.
Yeah.
What else are you always carrying? And I will say Michael got one from Amazon. Look for a travel size of what?
An umbrella.
Yeah.
Which is nice for a tiny one to carry like that. Because I have had the Disney ones before, and I think we only have one left, and I've literally had probably like 5 at one point.
At least they break.
We've lost them.
Yep,
because
we've
we
lost
leave
them. And that's a good thing about these is you get one on Amazon for $10-15. If you leave it behind or lose it, you're only out $10-15 instead of your nice Disney one. And to be honest, I mean those couple Disney ones we had did break because along with these afternoon thunderstorms, you're going to get wind. So it could take your umbrella out. Personally, I don't really like umbrellas. I'd rather go with a poncho with a hood on it or a rain jacket with a hood on it because an umbrella really only keeps from your shoulders to your head dry and the rest of your body gets wet. But you can use it, quickly and if you're in a pinch, or use it as a combination of your boots and your jacket or your poncho or whatever. Also, it helps to have sometimes quick drying clothing. I can say if you go and you spend money, like for example, if I go down to the Nike outlet or the Under Armour outlet and I spend good money on some golf shorts that are going to, first of all, they're going to be better for when it's really hot and you're getting sweaty, and they're going to help to dry a lot quicker, because that's another thing you don't want is a bunch of wet clothes going through the park. I'll even go as far to say, I'm going to pick, I know I've talked about them before, the dry dudes that I wear under my bathing suit.
Right.
I'm going to pick up more of those just to wear in the parks, because again, if you get cloth underwear, short shirt wet, they're not going to dry out very quick.
Yes.
So those help. One thing we don't have to worry about anymore, but a lot of people still do, and I don't know that we ever had one of these. What am I talking about?
A stroller rain cover.
Yeah.
/ poncho for that.
Yeah. And if you're renting, we highly recommend Kingdom strollers for all your ECV and stroller needs. You can request one through them. You can go to msmfriends.com, go ahead and click on the link there and book. You're going to save, I think it's up to like 50% off what you would pay for a stroller rental once you actually get to the parks. Ziploc bags to put your items in. We're talking torrential downpours. You may want to put your money, your wallet in a Ziploc. If you're, whether it's in a park bag or it's just in your pocket. It also can help, as we mentioned earlier, if you got a big gallon bag, that's what you could just pack and put your ponchos or wet clothing in.
Yeah.
You may want a change of clothes. If you're going to go brave the parks and it's going to rain that day, or it's an all-day rain, you wake up and it's rainy, like you can tell when you wake up in Florida, right? If it's going to rain all day, I feel like usually.
Yes, I do believe so.
It's usually not a heavy downpour. It's overcast. It's lightly sprinkling, and you're like, this is here to stay.
Yeah.
So you may want to pack a change of clothes, especially when it comes down to kids.
Yes. And if it does rain all day, I do feel like at least it is a light rain.
It usually is.
Seems
yeah.
Just like all day, where you can get pretty wet. That's like when we went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, and it started, once it started raining,
it didn't stop,
but it was a light rain. So it was weird because we didn't have ponchos, we didn't have rain jackets, we didn't have nothing.
No.
I think we had one umbrella between five of us.
Yep.
And with all that being said, I wasn't drenched.
Right.
So it's one of those things where, we were going back to a hotel, thank God. So I could change immediately when I got home. But yeah, definitely if that's something, maybe you're driving home that night, or, or you just want a change of clothes, or, just depending on how late you're staying, and, air conditioning, have maybe a light long sleeve.
Yeah, something like, and that goes back to, wrapping up this packing in general, is whether it's the really hot super months and you're going to sweat, or there's going to be rain or something. I tend to pack 2 outfits per day.
Yeah.
Don't often need the second one. And again, we do have the luxury of being able to drive and being able to pack more. But if you're able to pack more than 1 outfit per day, especially when it comes to children, adults can get through being a little wet. Kids are going to complain and whine. So another thing that comes down to your packing, but there are certain strategies that you want to look at. For example, if you know that it's going to be a rainy day, there's rain on the forecast, You're planning your park days. Now, you're going to have to probably make some switches because you're talking about looking a few days ahead, Epcot is a really good rainy day park. There's one ride that could potentially shut down, and that's Test Track.
That's nice.
Because rides aren't going to shut down just for rain. It's more going to come to lightning. Over at Universal, it's going to come to wind. When you get things like Rip Ride Rocket, it will shut down for wind. Your roller coasters and stuff in a light rain, they're still going to run. Sometimes even a heavier rain, they're usually going to run. It's when that lightning comes. The thunderstorms in the afternoon usually come with it. If only Test Track is shutting down, you've got a lot more to do.
Yeah.
Now, Animal Kingdom, you have a lot more outdoor rides. You've got things like Everest, Kilimanjaro safaris, all the different kind of outdoor streetmosphere and all. Those are going to shut down, and then you're kind of just stuck with not a lot to do.
And at least Epcot usually has a festival.
Yeah, so at least you can brave the rain for that. We say this all the time, but, we keep rope drop because we're mostly talking about afternoon thunderstorms, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that tends to be what the big worry is, I think. Now, sure, you could go for 7 days and it could rain 7 days straight, but it's not as likely.
I just heard to say.
As you going for 7 days and having 7 days of afternoon thunderstorms, right?
Yeah.
So when should you go to the park?
Well, in the morning.
Yeah.
So then you can be home possibly and in your hotel when it does downpour.
And that comes to our next one, right? Take an afternoon break.
Mm-hmm.
Plan on a break. I will never forget. Now, it used to be 3 p.m. on the dot every day.
It's changed.
It has changed a lot.
Yeah.
And it can be all over the place, these thunderstorms coming through. But I remember growing up and going to Disney, and at 2 p.m. every day, my dad said, all right, it's time to head back to the room. Why? It's going to rain at 3 and it's going to end at 4. We'll be back in the park by 5. Okay. And he was right. And that's what we did every day.
Yeah.
But that even goes outside of us talking about rainy days, right? I mean, talk about when is it the hottest during the summer?
Yeah. Those times.
That 2 to 4 p.m. stretch. So that's another great time just to say, we're going to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
What's the best thing to enjoy if you're going to go ahead and be in the parks, right?
Yeah, this is where it works for rainy day, and it also works for hot days. Go indoors. Attractions, food, shows. This is where I'm like, go see a show you haven't seen, especially if it's going to downpour.
Yeah.
Like just something awful. And you're around that area where you can get there quickly, especially if maybe you don't have anything or you're like, I'm just going to wing it, and you're like, all right, well, dang, I didn't mean for this. So let's do something, it might be time to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It might be, let's see the show we've not seen, or let's enjoy the resort, depending on the resort you're at. Any like moderate to deluxe has nice inside areas where you can hang out and
I mean,
kids can play. Like
I think of Coronado. I mean, when you think of that stretch now, adding, not only do you have the entire lobby area, Barcelona Lounge and all that of Gran Destino Tower, you have that indoor walkway all the way over to the old area with El Mercado, with Maya Grill, with lots of space to hang out, with Rick's. And then same thing, another place I think is like, somewhere like Boardwalk, Animal Kingdom Lodge, that have these stretches. You don't have these separated buildings like you would at a Old Key West, a Saratoga Springs, where if you're in your room, you're like, I got to go outside to get to all the good stuff.
Yeah.
So I think of that, and that's a good point. And a lot of the times, if it is going to be more so sometimes during the hurricane season, and maybe there's the threat of a hurricane coming, pool gets shut down.
Yeah.
They'll bring activities indoors,
which is super cool.
Yeah, and you might have a special character meet and greet. You might have some crafts. They might play a movie, something like that. So it's a good time to enjoy that. We have a saying here in Florida: if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
Yes,
and that's why sometimes I think it's great to just wait it out in the park.
Yeah,
that thunderstorm starts to come through. Do what Rhonda just said. Do that indoor show you haven't seen before. Maybe it's time to say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and just wait in this queue for an attraction.
Yeah.
We don't mind. We have sat in a show where you can just hear the downpour.
Yeah.
It is just wailing against the roof. It's loud as can be. And it just stops.
Yeah.
And you go outside and it's beautiful.
Or it's time to shop. You know?
Yeah, I mean, look at
times where
Creations is a great place to spend some time wandering around. The Emporium. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's all kinds of great shops. And then finally, this would be maybe more for your all day rain, is head to Disney Springs, right? There's Splitsville. You could go ahead and bowl and dine.
Yeah.
You could catch a movie. I know probably not on your list. Like, hey, we're going to Disney World. What are you doing? Seeing a movie. But
right.
You might have to. Or that's a great place if you want to find shopping and dining. You know, now you might have to go outside for a little bit from building to building. But I think of going there and going, all right, let's go get a lane at Splitsville and let's eat lunch and let's bowl. That's going to take up some time. And then from there, maybe, we go over to Bar Hop somewhere, or, you know, we go see that movie, or then have dinner. I mean, something like that. You know, if you can plan ahead and there's tickets available, Cirque du Soleil's there. That might be a last minute. Hey, are there tickets? Let's check this out because it's going to rain all evening.
Right.
So Disney Springs and stuff like that, I think, is always an option. Same would go for City Walk. They have the escape rooms now at City Walk. That could be a great activity. They have the movie theaters there as well. So all kinds of things that you can do. Finally, we'll just kind of run through a list of all the indoor attractions that you can do at each park. This might be a time, again, you wake up or the night before you go, hey, they're really calling for rain all day tomorrow. We weren't going to get Genie Plus, or we weren't going to buy an individual lightning lane, but maybe it's time to do it, knowing that the people that do go to the park and they brave the rain are going to all want to do the same things you're doing.
Yeah.
So you're going to look at longer queue lines. If all of a sudden, you know, Big Thunder Mountain and Seven Dwarfs Mine Train and eventually Tiana's Bayou Adventure, like if all of those are shut down, you have several rides now at Magic Kingdom where those people are going to be forced to go to other areas. So it might be the time to splurge for Genie Plus.
Right.
So I'll run through Epcot first, which really has about the most you can possibly do. American Adventure, Frozen Ever After, Grand Fiesta, Cosmic Rewind, Impressions de France and the Beauty and the Beast show. You've got Journey into Imagination, Living with the Land. You can meet Anna and Elsa. You can ride Mission Space, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, The Sea with Nemo and Friends, Soaring Around the World, Spaceship Earth, Turtle Talk with Crush. Those are all indoor attractions that you can do. What do we have, Rhonda, over at Magic Kingdom, which I would say is another great park to go to on a rainy day because of how much there is to do?
Yeah. So you have Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin, Carousel of Progress, Enchanted Tales with Belle. But that's not running right now. But you still have it if it comes back. Enchanted Tiki Room, The Hall of Presidents, Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. You can meet characters like the princesses in various locations.
Yeah, Mickey and Minnie up front, Town Square area. Yep.
PhilharMagic, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, Peter Pan's Flight, Pirates of the Caribbean, Space Mountain, and Under the Sea. Yeah,
so a lot to do at Magic Kingdom. None of those are going to shut down due to inclement weather.
Right.
So that's great. Then over at Hollywood Studios, you got the Junior Play and Dance, Frozen Sing-Along, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. Even though if it was pouring, I'm probably not going in there, though.
Jeremy.
I will say
it was cute.
But see, here's the thing. I'm not a big Cars fan. Like I never was in the Cars craze, and I know a lot of people are that, and so I totally get that it's wonderful for them, but it was a one and done for us. And that one made you a little nauseous, didn't it? Like you'd possibly have to wear a patch if we ever went to see it again because of those surround sound screens and all. I think you ended up looking at the floor most of the time.
I think I did.
Anyway, we also have Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, Smuggler's Run, meet characters such as Mickey, Minnie, Olaf, Sully. So a lot of character meet and greets, Muppet Vision, Rock and Roller Coaster, Star Tours. You've got the Launch Bay area, Rise of the Resistance, Toy Story Mania, and Twilight Zone, Tower of Terror. And while a lot of that queue is outside, you could get stuck in the rain there. So it might not be ideal. What better time would it be to ride Tower of Terror than when it's gloomy and, you know what I mean? Cool. And rainy outside. Yeah. That would actually be like, I don't know that we've ever seen it, but can you imagine those doors open and you look out and in the distance you see lightning striking?
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then finally at Animal Kingdom, as we mentioned before, there is not a lot to do. The only reason I would go to Animal Kingdom on a rainy day is because everybody else is listening to this podcast and they decided not to go. So nobody will be there and you can go just enjoy it because it is an awesome park. But what do we have available there on the short list?
Well, Flight of Passage, Dinosaur, Festival of the Lion King, Finding Nemo, It's Tough to Be a Bug, and the Navi River Journey.
And I'll say Festival of the Lion King and Finding Nemo show.
They're long.
Yeah, they're really long, and I think that those are great ones when you're like, all right, here comes some rain. Let's go ahead and get over there. Let's hopefully get in the queue. Let's get in the show. And we know we got 30 minutes or so to kill. So those are really good ones to do for that. But the rain is coming. Mm-hmm. Be prepared. As we always say, don't let it ruin your trip.
Oh, yeah.
If you look ahead, I mean, I see that a lot, unfortunately, in some of these social media groups and places is people, oh, I just looked at the forecast. It says rain all 7 days. This is going to be awful. What do I do? Should I replan? No, just go have fun.
Yeah.
And don't come back and act like the rain ruins your trip. You knew it was coming.
And guys, Disney literally does not control the rain.
I think they should. And I will be speaking to both Josh and Bob about it.
Okay.
I want that. I want that mythical bubble to finally be installed.
Don't be that guest.
It's a lot of news this week, though. Did you see that we have a chance to meet Moana at Animal Kingdom on our anniversary on her debut day, April 22nd, Earth Day.
Fun.
And our anniversary. She's coming, which will be very cool. Figment's finally coming. Meet and greet.
That's going to be different.
That's going to be good. Yeah. So there's actually a lot of news in this week. Just you can go find out all the news because I posted all about it yesterday on the Main Street Magic community on Facebook. Honestly, I'll say at Scott Gustin is one of the best follows on Twitter for any kind of Disney news you want. It's always accurate. It's always to the point. And then our friends over at the Main Street Mouse are doing a wonderful job posting Disney stories and
especially when they get the media.
Yeah, and they just had this amazing this event this week. We got all these announcements, and Michelle sent me all these great photos from Roundup Rodeo Barbecue, and it looks great.
Happily Ever After.
I know. I got to see Happily Ever After. That is coming back.
Yes.
There's a lot of exciting stuff coming up.
Yeah.
We have a lot of exciting stuff coming up as well. We're going to touch next episode on our return to Blizzard Beach. We stayed a night at Margaritaville in the hotel portion. We're going back down to hit some Mardi Gras food at Universal today. Hopefully see the Mardi Gras parade tonight if it doesn't rain, because parades will be canceled.
Yeah.
That is one thing they'll do at Magic Kingdom is they do the rainy day cavalcade. Their little impromptu kind of parade.
Cute,
so you could still catch that. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. We truly appreciate it. If you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button, you're going to get these brand new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. And of course, Rhonda, myself, even our dogs laying here growling would be very appreciative if you could leave us a rating and review.
Because it helps our show grow.
That's all we've got. We'll see you real soon.
Jeremy and Rhonda are more than a little fond of Disney World, so they made this podcast to share it all with you. Reports and resorts, top 10 lists of all sorts, Main Street Magic's bringing it home for you.